Hi sunshines. So this is the tutorial on how to achieve this trending palazzo trouser. If you've been following me, I already dropped a tutorial on how to achieve the top of this trouser. Let's get into it right away. First of all, you place your fabric into two, the back face facing each other. Then you measure your length. Where the length of your trouser stop, you draw a line horizontal, a line you draw a straight line to indicate. Then you add additional 1.5 inches for the folding. Then you come to your waist axis, you divide your waist into two and add additional 5 inches because this is an elastic waist. You divide your hip into two and add additional 4 inches. Then you go forward to measure the length of your crotch depth and draw a straight line to indicate. Then you measure your thigh. You divide your thigh into two. You add additional 4 inches. You can go ahead to form the crotch, to form the curve of your crotch, or to form your crotch. Then you go down, then you measure a straight line. For the base, I used 18 inches. For the base, I didn't know, I didn't put it here, but for the base I use 18 inches. When you are done cutting, you place it on another fabric. Then you measure 4 inches, rather 3 inches at the crotch, 2.5 inches for the waist, that's the back waist. Then you connect your lines together. For the thigh, you measure the same 4 inches or 3.5 inches. You take it downward. Then you measure 1 inches upward for your hip, for your waist rather, because the back waist is higher than the front waist. Then you go ahead to form your crotch. I always curve my crotch by 1 inches. When you are done, you go ahead to cut. When you are done cutting, for this